All right. First of all, Margarita, welcome. Margarita Monet, welcome to the Progressive Rock Central.com. First of all, I think you know from my review that I absolutely love The Unknown, and Edge of Paradise is now one of my favorite bands of 2021. This album has something, a little something for everyone. Power, great music, inspiring lyrics, and Edge of Paradise and my other favorite band right now, Phantom Elite, have captured for me that space that Arjen Lucassen used to hold all to himself. And that was the heavy metal space continuum. At the same time, I enjoy the optimism and the dynamic way both of you guys confront the pandemic. It's really fantastic. Both bands are giving Earthlings a way to make the most of our time here before we can add space to our journeys. For the first question, Edge of Paradise did a fantastic job front loading videos, which are remarkably entertaining, energetic, cinematic, and just damn fun to watch. That was so smart, so very intelligent. During a pandemic, when you cannot tour for reasons beyond your control, your band created videos for about half the album. That was an excellent decision. Was it your idea or Frontier Records or a combination?
No, it's always my idea to make videos, and we're making more just because I love the songs are cinematic. So when I make these songs, I kind of see the world of the song, and I always want to kind of share a bit of that world through a video, just do something visual, you know? So yeah, I always want to make more videos.
Yeah. Hats off to Frontier for signing both of you guys, Edge of Paradise and Phantom Lead. Thank you very much. We're glad to have both of these bands. I didn't know about either of you until this year, and now both of you are on my list for forever. And I forgot to mention, thank you very much for these. That was really wonderful.
Oh yeah.
And Margarita sent these as along with the shirt. I don't know if you could see the shirt, but that, and then she also sent this, which was wonderful. And thank you for the wonderful note. Here, I'll get up so you can see that a little bit better. All right. Tell me a little bit about your upcoming tour plans, because everyone wants to know, everyone wants to hear you sing, and I especially want to hear you sing Look in the Mirror of Your Enemy, Would You Forgive, and the Supernova. It's going to blind your eyes. I just love those two songs and the way you sing it.
Yeah, oh, thank you so much. Well, right now things a little bit, we're kind of looking at options, but we're going to be touring in the new year, in the beginning of 2022. We might do some like local shows here and there before the end of the year, but full on touring we'll probably start announcing in November. And you know, we really want to bring the music to all corners of the world, so it's important to us. Keep for that, yeah.
US tour in the works or still too early?
No, of course, US, definitely. US, Japan, Europe, and South America.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I watched that video that you guys posted on your website about creating a video for the song Believe. I really love that song as well. And can you tell us a little bit more about that video? Have you started it yet? Or tell us a little bit about the inspiration for that song, because I'm thinking one thing and, well, let's see what you say.
Yeah, well, that song is important to me just because it has the message is to believe into something greater, and I wanted to capture that wonder and that hope that, for example, a child would have looking out into the world. And there's a storyline to the song where there's some mysterious event happens, and it sort of evokes disagreement. It kind of splits people because we kind of go into our survival mechanism, and the view of a child is more positive, more where they can see something better, something positive, instead of automatically assuming, it's a dangerous or negative situation. So that sort of outlook on life in that song makes humanity move forward. And we are working on the video for it later this month. And actually part of the video is a little girl dancing ballet. And it's just like, we just wanted to capture that love for something she's doing, because I think love and passion for something is really important. And just, capture that childlike innocence and that outlook on life that I think kind of dims with as we get older. And I just wanted to encourage people to never let go of that light.
Very important. In my review, I compared Tidal Wave to Phantom Elite's Titanium song. Edge of Paradise is coming at you full blast, not standing strong to take a blow. Is that kind of what you were talking about with this pandemic and everything else that's going on in the world? Don't sit there, get out there, make your wave in the world. Don't sit back and wait because time is short. That's what I got out of it, but you tell me.
Yeah, well, pretty much, exactly. Also, so that song was the first one we actually, at the time we recorded the song, we didn't really know that it would, like, our tours would cancel. We just thought, like, yeah, there's some virus going around, it's gonna go away in like a month, So at the time it was more like the 10 years of the band, because we just celebrated pretty much our 10-year anniversary as a band.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so it was all, and we really had a difficult journey. Like, everything we ever accomplished, it was always a really big fight, like, we started from zero, we didn't really know anybody, so everything we did, it was an uphill battle. It still is to a point. Of course, like, now we have more support, but everything we did, basically, we like worked for it. So Tidal Wave is kind of about that a little bit, where whatever you can throw our way, we're gonna, um, overcome. And also, it was also the state of the world, because the pandemic was just started to take hold. And there's like so many things still go, like there was that war, there's always the conflict, because I'm from Russia. So there's always that conflict with, the like,
East-West?
yeah. So, in my head, it was like, what's going on with us as a band, as people, but also the state of the world, because the song starts like, what else could come next?
What's next? Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, Digital Paradise, that is a fantastic opener. You're probably going to be opening a lot of shows with that. How do you feel about drifting into that ether and hiding your identity? Are you guys immersed in video games when you're not making music? And if so, which video games? And talk a little bit about that song.
Yeah. Well, Digital Paradise is about the, eventually basically exploring the possibility of immortality through technology. And it's about uploading your consciousness into a computer and living through that. And then we leave it open-ended for people to decide whether they think it's possible to fully live on through that, or will our souls, our consciousness be lost, and it'll just be a digital replica. And it's actually like human suicide. So we kind of leave it open-ended. And yeah, because like Digital Paradise is almost a continuation of our title track of the last album, Universe. They say take me to forever. So Digital Paradise sort of explores how to go to forever to technology. But yeah, in real life, yeah, I don't think any of us really play video games, just because yeah, there's always, always chasing time.
We are. Yeah, we definitely are. I can tell that you definitely love travel. Where is the one place that you haven't been that you would like to go? And by the way, space does count, so you can add planets to your choices.
I would like to orbit around the Earth. See, I think it would be really cool to see Earth like as a whole from space. It's like just so mind blowing. It would be pretty cool. Maybe We'll see. The future is kind of moving fast.
It
Um,
really is.
yeah,
Shatner's heading up there pretty soon. The Captain Kirk.
yeah.
Did you hear about that? Yeah.
Mhm. But also recently they just, there was like the first civilian, um, they orbited the Earth. So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah. That
that.
crew.
Mhm. But I think like, well, on Earth, there's so many beautiful places to see. I haven't been yet. I mean, I'd like to see New Zealand. I haven't been to South America yet. Um, yeah, I mean, I have been to Iceland. So I really like that. I always
Yeah.
wanted,
Iceland.
yeah, I
The
always wanted.
video is beautiful.
Thank you. Australia would be cool. I mean, we haven't been to Canada yet. Just every place really fascinates me. Egypt.
Yeah. Yeah. Believe me, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit here. So, since you did mention Iceland, what was it like to perform that video? It was an awesome video, but
Thank
what,
you.
go ahead.
Yeah, well, so it was a lot of like, okay, we were really lucky that we had Souls of Rock, which they sponsored a little bit of the video, so they paid for expenses, which allowed us to do that. But it was a lot of like do it yourself. So we had like Val Rossi, he directed the video, and we had our friends Darren and Tina Lafreniere come, and they pretty much saved me because they're hikers, so they really know how to like what to bring, and they're amazing photographers. But we were filming, and it was like, when you get into it, you sort of like lose yourself a little bit because you focused on like performing and stuff, and all of a sudden I start to feel dizzy and I start to like shake uncontrollably.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, because it was,
You got that one shot of the glacier, which was beautiful.
yeah, well, that actually, it was pretty warm up there. The first shot by the lake, that's when it was really cold.
Yeah.
And I think it was the wind. But anyway, like it was like stunning experience. The Iceland is like no other place because it doesn't have any trees. So you really see the landscape all the time, and the rock formations are insane. And it just has this certain feel, like you feel different there just because you really see the beauty of our planet, because there's nothing distracting in front of your eyes. It's a really strange experience, but it was super beautiful.
Well, yeah, that Black Beach is really cool. And by the way, we have one up here in Washington, over on
Mhm.
the Washington coast, on the far north coast. I don't know if you remember those. Now I can't remember the name of it, but those um, uh, the movies filmed back in the '90s. Anyway, uh, I'll send you the link, but it's those vampire movies. Uh,
Oh,
th- yeah, there's one where they filmed on that beach, and that would be an excellent place for you to check into.
cool. Yeah, Washington State is beautiful. Like I've been up there. It's gorgeous. So
Definitely,
yeah, I love nature, and always cool to see new places.
definitely. Where would you, if you had a choice and had all the money in the world, where would you make a video? What place would you go to?
Next, I'm already planning it out. If we go to Japan, we're definitely making a video in Japan. We might go in April, but I also wanted Scotland over the cliffs.
Oh yeah,
Uh, and of course, like the moon. Why not?
well, sure. Tom,
But
what's his name is going up there to try to make a movie. Uh, Top Gun. I can't think of his name, but he's trying to go up in space and do a movie.
are you serious? I have to
Yeah,
look.
yeah. Tom Cruise. Yeah,
No, wait,
um,
going to space to make a movie?
yeah, yeah. But
What?
it's too. I think it's too early. We don't have the real good technology to do something like Star Wars or any of those movies. But we'll see. Um, okay, I'm going to quote from one of your songs here. I love your madness, but would like to know more about your methods. I mean, It's a great song. Go ahead.
Okay, well, that song kind of explores the idea that your choices have a rippling effect through timelines. So it kind of plays upon the theory, maybe string theory, that every possible outcome has to happen. So the song is about whether my choice here will affect, or it could affect me or someone else on this planet in this reality, or whether it can affect something, someone, somewhere on the other side of the universe, you know?
Yeah.
So it just kind of plays upon that. Yeah, and I like to think that there's more to life than we can see, and you know, there's more things we don't know, and our mind is more powerful than we know. So whatever you put out into the universe, or you know, your mind travels through time and space. It doesn't have any confines. So
That's true. Well, that leads perfectly into this next one. You're obviously not afraid of the unknown. You see the good as well as the bad, and what we don't know yet. What do you fear, and what do you lovingly anticipate for the future?
well, funny you say that, because I wrote that song because I am afraid of the unknown. And that song is, maybe it's like a way for me to find a way to not be afraid. I mean, I think it's natural, all of us. Something we can't control, we don't know. There's that tendency to fear it in some way. But I do tend to try to think that there's more, or you know, whatever, if whatever tomorrow may bring, to see that, to believe that it's going to be positive, or even if it's not, it's a doorway to something better. Because even looking at my life, everything that bad that happened sort of led me to something good. So I like to believe that there is some good guiding light out there that that you can, that you're also in control of, not in that way, but um you know, that you have, if you put something positive out there, you will, you know, it'll give back. So it's kind of along those lines.
Okay, no, that's really good. Um, let's see. Um, the other thing I get from the unknown is one of my favorite lines from one of my favorite people that I admire, FDR. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. I mean, I get that feeling from you, even though you say you fear the unknown. It sounds like at the same time, you know, here's the universe. Let's make what we can out of it. You know,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, for sure. I do have that. You know, even if I,
positive.
yeah, even if I'm afraid of something, like it rarely ever stops me. It maybe even fuels me more. So yeah, and that song has really a lot of meaning to me. Just, I think it's really the heart of the album, and every word on that song is just my heart and soul. So um you know, I hope it's cool to hear when that song has meaning to someone else.
Absolutely. Okay. My second favorite song is False Idols. Um, the music is just intense, perfect melody, beat, and you chose Ancient Egypt for the video. Um, and I know you've got the narrative, I think, goes beyond that. So, um, what do you want to say about that? Is it just, you know, the past, or I think it has a lot to do with what's going on right now in the future?
Yeah, well, in the video also, we kind of, there's ancient Egypt, but then the band is sort of in this futuristic location.
Yeah.
So want to kind of say that, like, the song basically explores the idea of why people certain follow certain individuals, like what makes it, because there's not one thing, because sometimes it's just so crazy, and kind of that decisiveness for yourself just disappears and you blindly follow something. So just exploring why, and why do those things lead to war, because like in the chorus it kind of touches upon that, always on the path to nowhere. Because yeah, and like looking these days as well, like if you look at TikTok or something, there's so many people that have so many followers, but there's nothing really positive that comes out of them. And of course there's still so many great individuals that have a following, but the song kind of explores the other side of this, and just like just the idea of that, something that makes people follow.
All right. I love that line. The only way to win a war is not to fight. And I agree with it. Absolutely. How do we stop the violence? I'm somebody that thinks we need more gun control, but how do you feel? How can we turn things around so that we're not this divided country and this, antagonistic people that we seem to have become?
Yeah, maybe
And it's
part of.
global. Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I just said, and it feels like it's global. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe to remember that we're all bound to the rhythm of time, and we're all gonna end up in the same place. It's part of it is like, that line came from the idea that even if you do win a war, at the end of the day, that war always has sacrifices. There's always people that die, usually the innocent, right? They're the
Yes.
ones that. So there's no winning in any war because both sides have a loss. And like I always kind of wonder this: why would someone choose a path of inflicting negativity and pain onto someone if we are all on the same timeline? It's not like some people, have like find immortality or have fountain of youth, or they can have a magic wand to bring someone back from the dead. It's like we're all bound to the same concept of time. We're all aged, right? So what makes some people want to choose that path to make life miserable? Basically.
Yeah.
So
No, it's sad. It really is sad that people want to do that. Okay. I want to feel your tears running down my face. Another excellent line. Do you really think AI is inevitable?
I think the way we're heading, I think seems like we're never going to stop heading that direction. And I mean, there's a lot of talk how the dangers of it, and how eventually it could wipe the humanity out, right? So I think it's important to talk about it. And I mean, the song, like in my head when I wrote that song, there was a lot of story behind it. It's about like a couple, right? And in the point in time that the song is like in the future setting, you are able to like upload your consciousness and merge with AI if you're dying. So you kind of live on through this cyborg self. So the couple, like one person was sick and sort of transcended into that state. And then there's that disconnect that even though that person acts the same, it's pretty much the same person, something is lost. That feeling of love, or whatever it is, love, pain, like that intensity that humans feel is lost. So that song is kind of about that maybe, because some songs, like that's why I never want to like tell people exactly what to think or what to feel, because I just want to spark conversation, and for people to have their own ideas about it. But I guess from my standpoint is I can't, I think something would get lost, because I don't know if it's possible to like transfer a soul into. But then again, I don't know. Like, who knows what consciousness is? If our soul can exist through our physical body, maybe it can cling on to some binary code and exist through that. So I don't know. It could be true. But that song is about that really raw human emotion that could be lost if we merge with an AI.
All right. Do you really think the Earth is doomed? Are we really leaving Earth for good someday? Or I hope not.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I mean, that song, it's leaving Earth. It's more about how humans always, no matter what, overcome, persevere, and rebuild. To a certain point, like we're still here, even though we haven't existed for a very long time. To a certain point, we are pretty resilient. Uh, but saying that, I think, yeah, it's probably not anywhere in the near future, but eventually, I think we would we would leave Earth and discover new worlds. We would have to, probably, because all planets die.
All right. Bound to Your Rhythm. What an excellent love song with a great beat. Is that the meaning of life, to find love? And the video is excellent, by the way.
Thank you. You mean Bound to the Rhythm?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Bound to the Rhythm explores the idea of time. I guess, like I mentioned before, that we are all in that same timeline. And I always have a fascination with time and just the idea of, we can't break away from it.
Yeah.
One thing really that we can't really break away from. And it's kind of like a love-hate relationship. So in the song, I try to do something positive. There's beauty in it, that we're all kind of moving to the same rhythm of time.
All right. You're quite an artist. Tell us a little bit about your artwork, and especially, where did you find Alex Reese? He is fantastic. That cover is, I don't know, it's probably my favorite cover of the whole year. It's excellent. I had to buy the shirt because of it. It's so good.
Thank you. Yeah, he makes really beautiful art, and he was introduced to us by an artist, Justin Seven, and he actually created our language that's interlaced in a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
our. Yeah, so Alex is an LA-based artist. He does a lot of work for movies too, and I think he just really captured the music in such a perfect way, because abstract enough, but it has that mystery to it. It's very detailed, but you can have your own interpretation of it, and that's kind of how the songs are. So yeah, we were really happy with it.
How about
Um,
your art? Yeah, because you do very well as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I, you know, like I mentioned earlier, I always sort of see things when I make these songs. So when I make art, it's almost like a piece of that on paper. And yeah, I think I made 4 paintings so far for this album. And I want to make more and eventually release a book that's lyric and art book. So you will have lyrics and explanation, like the story behind it, and then the artwork next to it. But
Those
yeah,
pyramids are awesome. Did you make the pyramids? Yeah.
yeah, actually, I made the pyramid for the Unknown video, and then I thought it looked cool, and everybody seemed to like it. So I was like, I'll just make more, and then we'll include it in our merch store. So it's almost like you have a piece of this album,
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Are you working on, I know, we've been talking about this album, The Unknown. Are you working on a new album for next year, or are you maybe going to do a solo project, or?
No, I'm never this solo project. This band is me.
Good,
So
good.
yeah.
We don't want to lose you. I mean, it's a fantastic. Hopefully, you don't change anything, because all the members are fantastic. The music sounds good, but I'm sorry. Go ahead. Are you
Thank you.
working on the next album yet, or not? I know
We are.
you're. Oh, by the way, I can't wait to see Love Rain on Me. That is going to be awesome. I want to
Yeah,
see how you can do the Dolce. I think you're going to do well.
yeah. The song turned out really cool, and so I think first with this song we're gonna put out like just like a visual, more like a lyric video, and then we're going to do a full-on video, but we're going to focus on promoting it to radio first. And it's all, the label is really, because we merged with Judge and Jury, which is Howard Benson and Neil Sanderson label. So Love Rain is more collaboration with them, so they're kind of taking the lead on that. But we are working on a lot of stuff. We're working on more music videos, and we have some music that we can start recording soon. It's just we do want to tour on this album, because even Universe didn't really get to tour much, so we want to get this music out.
Oh, it's a great album.
Yeah, there's only so much time, so but we're always writing new music.
Definitely, and I want to see all of this album performed. I mean, I can't wait. Last question: which bands would you want to turn tour with? Thank you.
Lots of great bands out there, but I guess if I have to pick, it'll be Within Temptation and Rammstein.
Those are two good ones. Who's are those your favorite artists of all time, would you say? Or
it's hard to say. I have a lot of things I like. I mean, I grew up on classical music, but I also love movie soundtracks. And I love Dio. I love a lot of things. So it's hard to say exactly who is like my biggest inspiration and stuff like that. I try to do my own thing, but I also listen to a lot of different stuff, from classical music to movie soundtracks to metal to industrial. So
all right, definitely last question.
Mhm.
And this is a question I ask everyone. Is there anything I missed that you wanted to talk about? And if so, go ahead.
I think we covered a lot, but I just want to thank you for for having me, and it's so much fun always for me to talk about these songs, and it means a lot that the music has a meaning. So I just want to say thank you, and I hope we see you very soon at a show.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, Margarita, thank you for spending so much time with us at progressiverockcentral.com. I hope you enjoyed this discussion as much as I did, and thank you very much for your time and, more importantly, your music. Keep doing what you're doing. It is excellent. Perfect. No, you don't need to change a thing. No, I'm kidding. Everyone evolves, but it is just dynamic and fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Have a good day and a good rest of the weekend. Thanks for sharing your weekend.
You as well. Bye.
Take care.